Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Let Me Know That You Know podcast. I am Mandie, aka yours truly, Mandie, and this is my co host and partner in crime.
I'm Dusty, aka Mr. Coin Laundry.
How is
How
everybody
y'all doing?
doing this week? How y'all doing?
Hello. How y'all doing?
Anybody know Doctor Now?
I love
Anybody
Dr.
watching
Now.
watching that My 600 Pound Life? I haven't watched it in a very long time. To be
It
fair,
has been quite some time. I don't even know if Dr. Now is still on there.
man, I don't either. I don't
But
even
he
know if
left
that show's still airing. To be honest.
he left enough of an impression that you can search Dr. Now on like Redbubble and you'll find
I
stickers that say, "How y'all doing?"
How y'all doing? I love that man. Anyway, so how was your week? Was it good? Me?
My week,
Yeah.
it was
Did it
it
happen?
it happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, During
I
the
feel
week,
that.
it felt like it was never gonna end, and now that Friday's here, it feels like it just kind of sped by.
Yeah. That's
How
that's
about
being
how
old
about your
again.
week?
It was good. I have made
Yeah,
a lot of progress in
yeah.
infinite wealth. For anybody who doesn't know, I stream most weeknights.
It's always
Um,
a fun time in her stream.
Always a fun time. But I've made so much progress in infinite wealth. I'm like dreading playing it a little bit because I don't want it to end. I don't want to know. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
just don't want to know.
yeah,
Ugh, I love those games, but they hurt me so bad.
yeah. I've just been exhausted. I want to work on my projects, but I come home and I'm tired. I'm
Yeah,
so tired.
yeah.
I'm the type of person that tells you I'll be done with a project in like 2 weeks, and then 3 bottles of hard liquor, and 3 months later, you'll find me in a straw shack in on the beach.
I think you're making yourself sound way worse than you are.
I don't know. I
Um,
just feel bad. I feel bad when I don't have anything to show for anything.
True, but you're working. I can confirm he's working.
Yeah,
But shall we jump in
sure.
to
Let's
the
jump
week?
into
All right, let's
it.
just
Yeah,
jump into it. All right, you want to talk about canceled games. Wait, is that
I
the
do.
okay.
No, the first thing is the
Listen,
Wendy's.
I didn't have our sheet scrolled up all the way.
Okay.
Forgive me. Anyway,
It's
so yeah, I did. Did everybody see at the beginning of the week? Wendy's thought they had a brilliant idea. They were like, we're gonna switch over to digital display boards. Put in all the restaurants, and then we're gonna roll out surge pricing like they're an Uber, right? Listen, I have never seen the masses bully a company so fast into reversing things.
yeah.
I put it on our show sheet like right at the beginning of the week when I heard it. I'm like, that is ridiculous. Get out of here, because you know they're not gonna make it cheaper. They're just gonna
No.
increase and then lower it back to regular price.
Yeah.
So
I,
I was
I
like,
didn't
uh huh.
I didn't see anything about this until people were like, they got bullied out of it.
Yes, I was like, as they should, because I'm like, that is not a world I want to move towards, where they're like, and then we can charge you whatever we want, really,
All these
just
companies
randomly.
are really in the fuck around and find out stage because we are all struggling and they're really pushing
Right,
everybody.
right. Like take your 4 for 4 and
Mhm.
go.
My 4 for 4
Could you
biggie
imagine
bag.
$5 biggie bag? Could you imagine, right? If they did the
Hmm.
surge pricing and they changed the price of the 4 for 4, like
No,
the
I'd riot.
audacity,
That 4 for 4 got me through many a work day.
audacity. What a bargain. Do they even
Yeah, I
have it
know.
anymore? I feel like that would be something they'd be like,
I don't
gotta go.
know. I feel like they still have that biggie bag,
Is
and
it
that
still
was a
$5?
$5 bag.
That's the question. Anyway, that's not anything I need to contemplate. I just more wanted to touch on it. I thought we would be having a longer discussion, as I thought they were gonna leave
Because
it. But
yeah,
the fact that, you know what, we bullied them out of it, I love that. I do love that, because that was uncalled for. That was a and
Yeah,
Wendy's, like, if you're not getting like the 4 for 4 or the biggie bag, that is some of the most expensive fast
it is
food.
very expensive, and it has no right to be like Chick-fil-A. It's just like I worked there. That was my
Mhm.
first job, and like everything is super fresh and like
Well, they say
actual.
the beef is fresh, I guess. They do
I
say that.
I don't believe that. Have you seen that beef?
I mean, it's a square
Why is it a square?
cuz it can be.
I think it's a square because it comes frozen. That's right. I'm spreading
Listen,
conspiracy theories.
listen, conspiracy theory, we have no proof. Allegedly.
Allegedly,
We'll throw
yes.
the allegedly in there.
Wendy's, please don't send assassins after me.
I think that's what they would do actually, in fact. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about what you're talking about. I'm removing myself from that part of the discussion.
It
But
just uh, it just tastes off. Something tastes off
I
about
don't
it.
know. I like
Do
Wendy's.
you remember
Am
that
I
one time they
trash?
got
I like
caught?
Wendy's. Get out of
I
here.
like Wendy's, but I
Mhm.
prefer the like chicken
You get the chicken. I
stuff.
like the burgers. They're fine.
But do you remember that one year they got caught with deer meat? You don't remember
I
this?
do. I do.
Okay. I was gonna say there was one year. It was like 2010, 2009 maybe. I remember I was there with my half brother and we were watching the news and it was like Wendy's has been serving deer meat.
And you're like, wow, vibes. I love how they make it sound like it's super sketchy, but like people eat deer
Yeah,
meat,
I mean
venison.
people pay extra. I guess it's just the fact that you lied to people.
Yes, I mean, would I seek out venison? No, I'm not a deer girly, but
I'll
people
never
go hunt
forget.
and get deer and do whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
that's your prerogative. We have to. Otherwise, they just gonna be getting hit by cars in
yeah.
the city areas that we took over. So, yeah. I mean, they gotta do something.
I'll never forget when I went to high school.
Mhm.
The burgers used to always taste the best. They used to always be the most amazing burgers ever. And then one day
Ooh,
they just tasted weird,
you're
like
talking about at
super.
your like school cafeteria,
Yeah. And
man.
like one day they
That's nice.
tasted super weird. They tasted like, I don't know, maybe they hit a fucking possum on the way
Oh
to
no.
school and were like, that's gonna be the burger today. And I never had a burger there again, and it was the saddest day of my life.
Listen, ours it wasn't bad by any means. It was probably of most the lunches, right? Because we would have like ours is like we had two, I think, quote unquote normal hot lunch, whatever was scheduled for the day, lines, and
Yeah.
then one was always the burger line.
We didn't. Burger was like a special day. It was like burger
Mm.
and chicken nuggies were special days.
Oh,
And the
I
burgers
wish.
used to be amazing, but after that point, I was like, I'm never going to do this again.
Listen, listen. This doesn't make sense to anybody else except for the people that were in, like, I assume our school district. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. We had a day, we had a lunch day that everyone just rejoiced for. It was Dunker Day. Italian Dunker. It is literally just a piece of bread with cheese on it that they served with warmed up marinara. But my God, it was glorious.
Yeah,
Dunker Day was the best day. Everybody wanted hot lunch on Dunker Day.
we didn't have that. We
Indeed.
had the nuggets, the chicken nuggies
Yeah. Our hype day was
with
Dunker Day.
honey mustard.
And what? Honey
Anyways,
mustard? What the hell?
yeah, we had honey
We had
mustard. It was
ketchup.
only on chicken nugget day.
We had ketchup and ranch, and that was it.
Anyways, now that I've successfully made Wendy's angry, um,
I still love you, Wendy's. Don't
yeah,
listen to him. Just don't screw with
I
your
love
pricing.
Wendy's. I'm just saying, I don't know if I believe them. Anyways, I could go for some Wendy's right now. Not for the surge prices though. Don't you
That's why I said I love
ever
you, but don't
charge
ever
me
do that.
more?
Mm-hmm. You already charge enough, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned.
Yeah, cancel the game. games.
Yes.
I wanted to
Now we can get into that. That was my bad.
I wanted to talk about this because I saw our friend Jordan
Mm.
posting about how they canceled another Star Wars game, and
They
this was
love
supposed
doing
to be
that.
like an FPS that was rumored to be like the Mandalorian.
And listen, can I touch on that just real quick?
Hmm.
I don't play FPSs, but if it was a
Yeah,
Mando uh FPS, maybe,
yeah.
maybe I'd be down.
My
I would
thing
suck.
is,
I'd be horrendous, but I give it a go.
I love FPSs, but my thing is, back in the Lucas Arts Games days,
Mhm.
they didn't do this shit.
No.
They didn't keep canceling these fucking Star Wars games. What is happening? I hate EA so much. It was
Yeah.
an EA decision
Of course I was. That's what they
to do
do.
this. I
They
hate
ruined
them.
my life.
Um,
Literally, I think it was like not long after they like bought whoever was developing the games. I don't know if it was still LucasArts or whatever at that point. But it wasn't long after EA bought them that they canceled the game I wanted to exist and still want to exist so badly. I want
mhm.
1313 to exist. I want it to exist. Why
I,
does it not
I'm
exist?
so sick of these canceled games, and it's always like, it's almost never like, oh, it was gonna be a bad game. It's always some upper management piece of shit
Mhm.
who just makes the decision just out of nowhere, I guess to show that he has a bigger dick than everybody. I don't know what the fuck. It's usually some dumb decision. They have no actual reason for it.
Sure.
Like the Silent Hill game that we were
Oh,
supposed to get. And
don't talk about it.
they really slighted um, Kojima in
Kojima.
a big
Mhm.
bad way.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
really, and now he's got his own
He straight
studio.
up. I was about to say it was. It wasn't long after that he straight up left
Yeah.
Konami, and that was that.
Well, it was like immediately. Like
Mhm.
he made that playable trailer, which was literally him talking shit on Konami, and people didn't get that at first. And then right after that, he said, "Yo, Kojima Productions."
And we went, yes, sir.
Um,
Whatever you want, we'll follow you.
they gotta stop canceling games, man. And like a lot of times, they're finished.
Yeah.
They're finished games.
Right.
There's a game I have sitting somewhere. I don't know if it's with all my fighting games or if I have it with all my Genesis games. But it was a canceled fighting game and it was complete. It was finished. It was supposed to be for the Genesis and it
Mhm.
starred Lobo from
Interesting.
DC Comics. And it played like Mortal Kombat. The graphics were pretty similar to Mortal Kombat.
Mhm.
And somebody somehow got a hold of it and just released it like they sold it on Etsy.
Hmm.
And it's been confirmed that like that's the game and it was complete. It was finished. I
That
played
was
it
a
like it was
frustrated developer that went to sell it on Etsy. If I ever heard of
probably
one.
probably more developers and movie directors uh Acme versus Wile E.
Coyote
Coyote
versus Acme. Yeah.
need to just steal their shit that gets
Could you
canceled for
imagine they would get sued into oblivion these days?
I mean who can prove it? Who can prove that it was them? You
If
don't
they're
know.
making money, they want it. They'll figure out a way.
Maybe it was Joe Schmo, the janitor. Maybe
Don't
he
put the
found
janitor in this. You leave him out of this. He
maybe
did nothing wrong.
maybe he found a random disc and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna release this for free up on the internets."
Worldwide. I can't help
Uh,
myself every time.
that's what happened with Dark Knight of the Soul. There was an album called Dark Knight of the Soul,
Mm-hmm.
and it did eventually get an official release, but it was Danger Mouse who is a
Oh,
producer,
yeah. You told
the
me
other
about this.
half of Gnarls Barkley,
Right. Which I
and
had no idea.
yeah, and an artist known as Sparkle Horse, who I think also does a lot of producing stuff. And they were gonna put together this album. Basically, they did all the backing music, and they sent off the songs to people like Iggy Pop and whoever the lead singer of Queens of the Stone Age, and
Mm,
people like that. And they sent the backing music. The people listened to the songs, went, "Oh, okay, I got something for this," and then they sang and then recorded it and then sent the finished song back.
sure.
Well, all these record companies had to shove their little noses into it and halted like everything and were real assholes about it. It looked like it was never going to get released. So Danger Mouse said, "Here, it's for free," and he put it on the internet.
I guess my and that if it's free, they can't really do much about it. I
No,
guess my concern was you said that Lobo one, right? They were selling
yeah,
it on Etsy. I'm like, if they were like doing that and trying to sell it, then they're gonna stick their
yeah.
little noses in.
I think the thing with the Lobo game
It was old,
is it was old. I
right?
don't think those companies exist anymore.
Not many people. That is a good point. They don't exist
Yeah,
anymore, and not many people have the hardware to bust it out and play it anyway.
no. Um, but it was a fun game. It was a complete game.
Yeah.
And it also frustrates me when it's like a game that's almost complete and then gets stopped right before they finish it. So it's like not really playable because they weren't able to put the finishing
Finish.
touches on the
Yeah.
coding and all that. There was a Daredevil game that it sounded amazing. It was supposed to be for the PS2,
Mhm.
and he would like grind telephone wires like they were rails and stuff, and he had sonar, and it like I've seen videos on what it was supposed to be and how close they were, and it's
That's
just
interesting.
frustrating.
That's an
Yeah, I
interesting
think
concept.
it would have been amazing. I watched like a whole documentary on it, and
How'd
it
they
sounded
handle
like
the
it would have been
visuals?
amazing. Huh?
I'm just curious. How'd they was it like third person so it didn't matter?
Uh, oh yeah, it was like third person. I mean, the camera kind of it would follow you, but it kind of did go around a little bit. Like when while you were grinding, it would kind
Mhm.
of like circle you a little bit.
Mhm. No,
But
I just think it's interesting that cuz like how do you I guess accurately depict gameplay as
oh
Daredevil, right?
well, it's different every time they depict Daredevil in media. Because in you remember in the Ben Affleck movie,
Mhm.
it was like everything was blue or whatever, but if
Right.
something made a sound, he could kind of see it.
Right.
In the Charlie Cox version,
Mhm.
he can kind of see everything. I think it's about the same situation, but it
Right.
just looks like everything is on
So I
fire.
guess
Like,
my question is how did they handle it in the game? Did you have any
it
like did you see any footage of how they handled it? Cuz
yeah,
that would be interesting to me.
it would be like third person, but like you would have this sonar thing that would change the way you saw
Mhm.
everything so you could see people through walls and shit.
Interesting. Okay.
So I guess if you click the sonar button, you would see what he's seeing
Right.
because he would just hear people through the walls and stuff.
Okay.
But
I'm just wondering. I'm like I feel like that would be a difficult like way to handle cuz I mean it's not like it's easy in the shows and stuff either. So I'm like
no, it's very
how
hard.
would you
And
handle that in gameplay? That's
the funny thing about the shows is Charlie Cox
mhm.
seems to be the only one thinking about it.
Mhm.
Cause you remember that show I told you about Echo, where
Mhm.
she's deaf?
Yes.
Well, there was one episode where he was in it
Okay.
and he fights her, and they were like writing it and talking about it and telling him like what's gonna go down, and he
Mhm.
said, "Well, how would they communicate?" And they were
Excellent
like,
question.
what do you mean?" And he said, "She's deaf. He can't see."
Right.
And then they were like, "Oh, I forgot he's blind." And I'm like, "Bestie." What do you mean? You
They
should
really went.
remember these
This is
things.
this is an important part of this character, defining even.
Like, like Charlie Cox is constantly having to remind all the writers that, like, yo, this is a blind man.
Right.
I thought that was funny. But yeah, I'm sick of all these games getting canceled.
Yeah. Which I think moves us to our next topic, right?
It does, yeah.
Right hand in
Uh,
hand with games getting canceled.
what in the fuck is wrong with WB? What are they
I
doing?
know because they are like right now the biggest what's it called? They're the ones doing it the
Punching
most, it
back?
feels like.
Oh, offenders?
Offenders, that works, yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, they are. I don't know that that's reality, but from my perspective, I'm mad at them.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. The Batgirl movie was finished. Brendan Fraser said it was a finished movie.
Listen, you want to talk about the one that pisses me off that I still hold a grudge against? It's that one. I wanted
Yeah,
that movie to exist so badly.
he said it was a good movie. He saw the finished product,
Right.
and
And this goes hand in
they
hand with Coyote versus Acme. Will
yeah,
Forte was like, yo, this is a good movie.
and I think they didn't even tell Brendan Fraser why they canceled it.
Yeah. And I don't think they told anybody why they tanked this one
No,
either.
it's so stupid. Don't cancel things when they're finished. Just release the damn thing.
Especially in this day and age, right? Where you don't have to
Hmm.
do like a full theatrical run. All of these companies
Yeah,
are hooked up to some streaming service. It's like basically whatever to release the movie that you've already spent money on. I know they're like, "Well, if we release it, we can't get our tax breaks." So, you might make more
yeah.
money if you just release the movie or at
Well,
least make
especially
back.
Batgirl.
Oh my god, I'm so
John Cena was gonna be in that
God.
Acme, wasn't
I don't know.
I think he was like
I couldn't
defending
see him.
Acme as a lawyer or something
Mm,
like that. I'm sure he's pissed.
probably. But nobody
I
can
saw
see him. Can you please haha at my joke?
I saw a thing
Acknowledge me.
where I did acknowledge you.
Okay.
Uh, I saw a thing where he had to basically eat his own words because when The Rock left WWE
Yeah.
to go make movies, he was a big poo-pooer about that. He was very upset at The Rock for leaving
Rutwell.
WWE, and now he's doing the same thing, and so
Mhm.
he's like, I had to eat a lot of crow for that.
Yeah, because I imagine, right? Cuz The Rock
Hmm.
older than him, I believe.
Yeah,
Um
and was in it longer.
yeah, he probably hit that age and he went whatever age that is in wrestler years and went, "You know
Yeah,
what? I need to diversify here because I can't do this forever."
I think we're only kind of recently getting to the point of like really respecting the legends and like letting them back, like to just kind of do a victory lap
Sure.
because The Rock has come back a few times and The Undertaker came back a
Oh,
few
I love The
times.
Undertaker.
He's the best. He's the nicest dude in the world too. There was
That's great.
a small, very small animation, like it was two people who made it.
Mhm.
So not like a company. It was on
A
Newgrounds,
stumpany.
and they were gonna put the Undertaker in it as
Mm.
like a character. It was gonna be like a funny comedy thing. And I guess they reached out to him and they said like, "Hey, is it okay if we do this?" And he reached back to them and said, "Only if I can voice myself."
That's
And I
amazing
just
number
thought that
1.
was the nicest thing in the world.
Yeah, that's amazing number 1 and number 2. Shocked they could I mean, they reached out and like he or his publicist or whoever went, "Oh, this is nice, and like passed it along that he actually answered.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, that one guy that they interviewed on H3H3, he just said all you have to do is ask. People don't ask, and
True.
every now and again you'll get a yes.
True.
I think people are just scared to ask.
Right. Or they feel like they won't be seen because they're assuming like you have gigantic
Thousands of
floods
people,
of
yeah.
yeah.
It's funny. I listened to an interview with the Penny Arcade guys once,
Mhm.
and Jerry was explaining that they get emails, and it'll be like, uh, it'll be titled like "Hey fuck face," and then they'll open it and it'll be like "I love you" and "You're my hero." I'm
See.
sorry about the title. I just thought you would look at it or whatever.
Mhm.
And then it'll be like they'll see one's titled like "You're my hero," and then they'll open it and be like "You fucking suck. I hate you so much."
I'm so disappointed in you. I'm a fallen fan. But what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, I feel like that also makes sense for them as like people, right?
Yeah.
Like I could see Penny Arcade fans titling an email, "Hey fuckface."
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Yeah. That's true. It's true.
That's the vibe. You know what I mean?
That is
You got
the
to read
vibe.
the audience vibe, and that fits.
But you know what's not the vibe?
Not a vibe. What?
Is a Willy Wonka
Oh,
event
oh no.
that happened in
Oh no.
Glasgow.
Listen.
I've
Listen.
got this article
I
pulled up here.
know next to nothing. You wanted me to go in blind. I am going in blind. I have so many videos in my watch later ready to go once I know, but I have not watched. I've only heard a little bit. They've talked about it a little bit on KDWB, on the Dave Ryan show. So, otherwise, I know nothing.
Strap in
Okay,
because
I'm ready.
uh, this is an article on Vulture by a David Mack.
We will link below.
Um,
Send it to me.
yeah, I will. I will
Okay.
send it to you. I'm just gonna skip the first thing here because it's just talking about how the internet loves a disaster. So
TumblrCon. I'm just
yeah,
saying. The ball pit.
this was basically they wanted to provide an experience of what it's like to be at Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Mm.
And here we go. The
Oh
event
no.
took place in a largely empty warehouse slash venue that had been decorated, so to speak, with a
Listen, I
few.
hate all these qualifiers at the end. Venue slash warehouse slash venue. Decorated, so to speak.
With a few scattered candy themed props, hanging plastic backgrounds, and a small jumping castle. As bewildered families wandered the space, this was in Glasgow. Did I already say that?
Glasgow, yeah.
Uh, they were greeted by actors dressed in shoddy costumes who read from scripts they later said that they suspected were AI generated
Ooh, they
gibberish.
got that chat GPT on it. They said,
They had that Chat GPT. Rather than feasting on an array of sweets, children were giving a few jelly beans and a quarter cup of lemonade.
they couldn't even get
Soon,
like a quote unquote everlasting gobstopper. Like, just one.
no,
That's all you need. You don't even need
they
a
had
bunch.
a few jelly beans.
Could you imagine? And you got all
Soon,
the worst flavors.
I just want to know how much they paid to get in.
Too much. Too
Soon,
much.
angry parents called the police as they demanded refunds from organizers who
Yikes.
canceled the event before the day was out.
Yeah, because they looked at it and went, maybe not.
While while many photos have emerged of the Wonka fiasco, one picture, I sent it to you,
Okay.
in particular, has grabbed the internet's attention. It shows an actor wearing the Shein equivalent, not the
No.
Sheen equivalent of an Oompa Loompa costume, and looking slightly dead in the eyes as she stands in a smoky room behind a table covered in so much scientific equipment that countless people online compared it to a meth lab. Meet
This is a whole
Christy
new
Patterson.
imagining on Willy Wonka.
I mean,
This is
it
Zilly
might
Zonka.
be an actual authentic experience, to be honest.
True.
While a subsequent photo shows that there was at least one other Oompa Loompa at the table that day, it's Patterson who emerged as the viral star and defining image of the Wonka fiasco. Posts have proclaimed her as one of the standout memes of 2024 so far. People are comparing the image to works of art or making art of their own, showing Patterson as the Mona Lisa.
Love that.
Oh my
What did Aiden
goodness.
Ross call her?
I don't know.
Lisa
What did
something. It is
Lisa?
funny. It was
That's,
not right. Lisa Ann.
oh.
Lisa Ann. The Mona Lisa is the Lisa Ann.
Oh no, they interviewed her?
Oh no.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do when you're not dressed as an Oompa Loompa? I'm 29. I want to add more in children's entertainment because I enjoy it. Do you enjoy it still?
I was about to say this was probably not a great
Well, the sad thing is, I've seen other pictures go around
mm.
showing her like really trying to
Sure.
make the kids happy. She was like, "This is
It's not
not
her
me."
fault.
No.
It's not any of
Uh,
the actors' fault. Whoever
she's
organized it just needs to never be near anything like this again.
she's apparently also a fire dancer.
Cool. That's cool.
Uh, apparently it was a listed job. I don't know what 500 pounds is in US dollars, but
Mm,
she was offered 500 pounds for 2 days of work. Okay, you went to the warehouse on a Friday for a dress rehearsal. What happened at that meeting? I was shocked, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting it to be like that. It did seem like there was a production going, but to me, it wasn't a finished production, just the start. It was the first time me and the other actors met. I've never had a script that the might the night before ever in my life. So when I got the script the night before, I was like, "Oh, this is not." They kept going on about how you could just improvise.
great. Yep, that's very important for like a very I feel like you have to portray the correct vibe. I have
Yeah,
no better word for it, but it definitely
yeah.
has a theme and I feel like it's important to stay on brand with that theme. So, that's weird. And any pounds to USD, it's like
Yeah, 500 pounds.
$630.
Ah,
Doll hair.
well, that's not bad for 2 days' work.
Right.
Um, I kind of
It
thought
is
it was
if
AI
exists.
generated, but by this point, I'd signed the contract.
Yikes.
Yeah. This is the mental thing about the costumes. Given the amount of people who were paying to go and the amount they were paying us, I thought they'd have sufficient costumes. So at this point, I was like, what is it you want us to wear? What's the makeup like? Because it's Willy Wonka experience. You have to have good costumes, but it's all meant to
Right.
be imaginative. Oh my God. Oh my God. Basically, she's just, she was stuck.
Yeah.
She was stuck.
Poor thing. Because, like I said, it's not the actor's fault. Like,
Yeah.
sure, they could have read the contract, I guess. But, like, you do kind of go in with the impression that, hey, this is Willy Wonka. Like, obviously, they're gonna have, like, it's gonna be, like, established, good, no concerns. I can just do it.
Yeah.
No, clearly not. So that was an
No.
unfortunate learning lesson that I don't blame them for.
No, I hate that she had to sign that contract before seeing
The
anything,
script. They
really.
probably, to be honest, they probably didn't even have the script when she signed the contract.
Probably
They're like,
not. They
"Hey, go get
probably,
that Chat GPT. Come on,
yeah, probably like that day.
make a
Um,
Willy Wonka prompt."
but nothing like super serious, just kind of a sad
Yeah.
experience. And the pictures themselves were like just very memeable. It wasn't like people got hurt, and it wasn't like a fire festival or anything like that,
Right.
but
It was
it's
Tumblr
making
fun.
the rounds because it's not great.
Yeah.
Not great. They thought they could just attach a name and
They really
be
did,
good.
and put out some maybe candy related things. Maybe if you
Maybe
like
candy.
squint and close one
I
eye.
think I think it was like one giant plastic lollipop and
They're like kids have
maybe a few.
imaginations.
Yeah,
They
kids
can
don't want to
imagine
pay
it.
for that.
Right.
Um, yeah, that's bad. That's bad. That's like something your school puts together like really quickly.
Can I tell you the one quote I heard from the guy that was playing Willy Wonka?
Uh-huh.
He said I'm quoting off of memory. I don't remember the exact quote, but
Okay.
he said he uh had like a little worry, right, when he was auditioning and
Uh-huh.
they made him Willy Wonka because he said he
Yeah.
definitely gave off Oompa Loompa vibes. And I was like,
Oh
listen,
my God.
this man,
He's,
this man is funny.
he said, "I know myself, and
He
I
did.
am an Oompa Loompa."
He said, I was destined to be an Oompa Loompa, and they put me as Willy Wonka. Mm.
That's amazing. I didn't see that, but I saw the image and I was like, "Oh no, oh no,
Oh, no, 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 no.
no, no, baby, what is you doing?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely being made out like worse than it is because it's being memed and thrown all over the place.
Right.
But it's
As
not
it
good.
should, but like not for them, but for the
Yeah,
people that put it on.
yeah. But yeah, that was the Willy Wonka experience.
Wild.
Wild. Our next topic is basically they're doing another Crow movie with Bill Skarsgård. I don't know how you say his name. I'm so
Listen,
sorry. It's Bill
no offense to Bill
Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. It's Skarsgård. No
Okay.
worries. I got you. Um, no, they're not.
Well, here's
I've
the thing.
officially, that movie doesn't exist to me. I will
Here's
happily watch the 94. Anyway, go on.
here's the thing that bothers me about this, and this is why I put it on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, who cares? I'm not gonna watch it. I'm always gonna stick to the Brandon Lee anyway.
Correct.
Um, the thing that bothers me,
Mm.
and somebody else said something about a different movie as well, and they called it remake. They're calling these remakes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another movie that they're calling like a remake or whatever. I don't think you can do that. I mean, this is just my opinion. I don't like it when they use the word remake when it's something that had a source material that was a comic.
Sure.
In my mind, it's just another Crow movie.
Right.
Like if they do
Another
another
variation on the
Constantine
crow.
movie, yeah, if they do another Constantine movie, I don't want them to call it a remake of the Keanu Reeves because that's stupid. You're just basing it off the same
Off of a
comic
comic that
that the
exists.
other one was based on.
Right.
They didn't call the Daredevil series a remake of the Ben Affleck movie. Like that's dumb.
No, they
That's a
want to
dumb
pretend the
thing
Ben
to
Affleck
say.
movie doesn't exist. So
I
they
wish
don't want
they
to
would
talk about it.
just once acknowledge it. Just put one Evanescence song in season 4. Just
Man,
one.
soundtracks like for Daredevil, The Punisher, they had banger soundtracks then.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But yeah, that was my main point with the Crow movie because I really don't care. I'm not gonna watch that. I love the Brandon Lee movie,
Me
and
too.
like this isn't even the first time they've done this.
Well, I know
This
there
isn't
was a
even the first
second
time they've done this.
movie. I never saw the second one. I don't know anything about it, but
There was like 3 or 4, I think. But
yikes.
I mean, some of them weren't even considered like sequels of the movie. They just
Okay.
had subtitles so that they could separate it
Right.
from the original movie.
Right. No, I watched the Brandon Lee one. That was it. That was the only one I watched. The only one I
Yeah.
ventured into. And I thought, I
But
mean, I'm biased, right? Probably.
Yeah,
It was good. It was the best.
it was an amazing movie, but I watched one other one, and it's just because I liked the actor a lot, and it felt like it didn't feel like they were trying to make it a sequel. They were just basing it off the same
Sure.
comic, and it wasn't done as well because the production was low and
Sure.
all that stuff. But it was Edward Furlong,
Okay. I haven't heard that
and
name in a very long time.
I liked him a lot because I loved Terminator 2, and he was in American History X, and there was another movie that I liked a lot, and I'm trying to remember the name of it now. It was like a name movie. It was like blah and blah, and
Love that
from the
movie.
title, you're thinking like, oh, it's a comedy. It was a fucked up movie. That was not a fucking comedy. Um, it was like two J names. Anyways, that's not the point. Point is, I liked Edward for long. I've watched the movie. I think the woman in the movie was why can't I think of her name? Tara Reid,
Oh,
I think.
really?
Yeah, I think so. She was in at least one of them, and I think that was the one. Anyways,
So like
it wasn't
2000s then
terrible.
probably.
Yeah,
Okay.
um, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Brandon Lee
kind
one
of
was amazing.
yeah, I kind of figured. I was like,
Yeah,
I don't think if I watch another one, I'm gonna like it as much as that one. It was
no,
definitely I mean, aside from it being just a good movie, I just hold a little special place in my heart for it because
yeah,
I was a kid. It was edgy, right? my li-
yeah.
my little edge
I
lord
think
self was like, hell yeah, this is great, and I'm never
I
gonna
think
recreate those vibes.
no. I think way too often people forget that comics exist outside of Marvel and DC.
Right,
So when you have a movie that's based on a comic and it's not Marvel or DC, they're just like assuming it's a new IP, and it's like, no,
right.
that's been around for a long time.
Agree.
Obviously everyone knows Hellboy is a comic, but The Crow was a comic. Um, there were a lot of movies like that, like The
Mhm.
Crow, that just people didn't realize. Monkey Bone was a comic
I see.
first.
You did tell me that, and I had no idea.
Yeah, it was
I
a
loved
comic called
Monkey
Dark
Bone.
City or something like that. And there was a Stephen King comic, I think,
Or it
that
was a
got
book. Are you
made
talking
into a
about
movie.
the Dark Tower?
Oh yeah, but
It
they
was a
made a
book, but they did make graphic novels for it. Yes.
yeah. But anyways, there were movies that were comics first, and people don't acknowledge that.
Right. I feel like people have to know, but like Sin City. Sin City was another one.
Oh yeah, Sin City. I don't think people do know actually.
Oh, okay. I just thought that was one
The
that people knew.
average. Well, I mean, if you're within the nerd space, you know. But I think if you ask like my dad or
Mhm.
just some random person you might know that's not into all that stuff,
Yeah.
um, that might have watched the movie, like, hey, did you know that was a comic? They probably won't know.
Yep. Yeah, I just especially if it's like an edgier story, I think the
Yeah,
assumption is automatically, oh, this can't be a comic.
yeah. Um, yeah. That just
Well,
rubs me the wrong way. It's like
yeah.
one of my pet peeves when they say like it's a remake, and it's like no, like the David Harbour movie, the David Harbour
Hellboy.
Hellboy was
Hellboy.
not a remake. It was just based off the same source material.
Yep.
Don Bluth was almost gonna do a Beauty and the Beast movie. Would they have called that a remake?
Hmm. Probably. Are you kidding? Probably. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I do think it's weird that it can't be like it has to be. Are they just trying to put it down to the simplest terms? Maybe like
I think they just
reimagining is just a
want you
step too
to
far.
I think they just want you to think of the one that you loved,
Mhm.
which is a ballsy move.
Right, because already I looked at the costuming for the crow and I went,
Yeah.
mm, I don't
Well,
wanna.
also at the same time,
Mhm.
I think, yeah, I looked at the costume. I don't understand the tattoos.
Yeah.
He looks the way he looks in The Crow because he came back to life.
Right.
It wasn't like he was already an edge lord.
Right.
um,
Um.
but
Oh, I was just gonna say
um,
really quick
hmm,
before I forget. Uh huh.
you looked at the costuming on The
I looked at
Crow.
the
We were talking about
costuming.
it being compared to the first movie.
I got. It's gone. I don't know what I was gonna say. Go
I'm
on.
sorry.
It's fine.
Uh, but basically, I also have to assume that most of Hollywood doesn't even know.
That's probably not
Like
wrong.
when they made this movie, they were probably just like, "Yeah, we'll remake that other movie."
Right. They're just kind of
Annoying.
shoving things out. Listen, I could be talking completely out of turn and they could care about it a lot, but from the
Yeah.
costuming, I don't think so, but maybe they can prove me wrong, but I'm
Again, I don't
doubtful.
understand the tattoos. It implies that he was already putting on like the makeup that he puts on
Right.
before he died. Like, do y'all know what The Crow was about? Did you read anything about The Crow? Like,
Is it, and then of course, by default, it
mhm.
immediately got compared to that Joker movie that got made that I still didn't
Oh,
see.
for fuck's sake.
And so, is it
Listen,
going to be that kind of situation where they're like, I
probably,
don't like comic movies, so I did this instead, or is it going to be like I actually care about it, but this is the choice I made? We'll see.
probably like the Scorsese thing.
Yeah.
Listen, Martin Scorsese, great director. I will not watch that movie.
I don't want to. I have
I
no
do not,
desire to.
I do not respect any of the decisions that were made.
Like that was a
Anyways,
choice. That's fine. It's not for me.
that was a
I
dumb
know
choice.
I know in general what I would enjoy and that is not it and that's okay.
Yeah.
It went to somebody who wanted to see it and that's fine.
But
All right.
that's what I had for today. It's time for
Mandie's K-pop corner. Let's go. It's a quicker one this week. We didn't have as many to
no.
power through since I was playing essentially catch up. And we'll start out
Yeah.
with the thing I'm most excited about. So I said last week, J-Hope had that docu series coming out, but I did get the absolute confirmation because I wasn't clear with all the things coming out what the album was gonna be. If it was gonna be a J-Hope album, if it was gonna be something else just to go along with the project, I didn't know. It is a J-Hope album, and they released the track list, and I'm so excited. So I'm gonna go through it real quick. Let me get it pulled up. Okay, so there are 6 songs, so it's kind of like a mini album, but it is volume 1. So that for me, it's Hope on the Street volume 1. So
Hmm.
maybe that means there's a volume 2, maybe more.
I hope so.
I love anything J Hope does. His
Hey,
solo
hop
was such a strong solo to start with, like I couldn't believe it. It
is
dropped and I was like, "Oh my god."
tied for my favorite BTS solo
Yes.
with D-Day.
D-Day's so good. Okay, but so the track list, first track on the album is going to be On the Street, the solo version. So he's doing one without J. Cole, right?
Yeah,
And then number 2 is I Wonder
which
featuring
hey,
JK.
I love J. Cole.
I know, I know. I'm surprised they didn't just put both versions on here because
Yeah,
that one never got like an official release. It was just a single. So,
yeah,
interesting choice. Would love to know why they didn't just make it maybe track 7 or something, like a little bonus. Maybe they will. I don't
yeah.
know. Anyway,
Well, you
mm-hmm.
did say it was volume one.
That's true. That is true. So maybe volume 2, maybe something down the line.
Yeah.
Track 3 is Lock slash Unlock, and that's featuring Benny Blanco, which they worked with before on Bad Decisions, and Nile Rodgers.
No bad decision.
And then I don't know. I saw a funny meme that was just all the BTS members solos with something in relation to I don't know and like not
Yeah.
knowing, and
Not
it
knowing.
was so funny. So funny. I'll post a link to it below if I can
Yeah.
find it. And that is featuring Le Seraphim's Ha Yoonjin, and then a remix to What If is track 5, which was on
What if?
uh
What if? What if? What
Jack
if?
in the Box.
Check in
And
the
then the
box.
final song is Neuron featuring Geico, I think, and Yoon Ray, which, funny enough, we talked about her last week. That's
Mhm.
Tiger JK's wife, who,
Yes, yes.
yeah, so she's the one. I think you said you know more about his label and all that than I do, but I think she
Hmm.
also has an interest in running that label. So
I
I was really
believe
excited. I like her.
she's a producer with
Okay.
that label. And they did that song together. Him and her
Yes.
and RM. And I think BB was on that. Was BB on that?
No, no,
Buku,
no, no,
buku, buku, buku,
no BB.
buku. No, BB.
I don't remember who it was, but it was not BB.
Should have been BB.
Buku buku buku. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so
Good
get
song.
hyped. Let's see if I can find the
I am
date.
hyped. It sounds like we're getting a lot of new J Hope songs. Two remixes and new songs.
I believe the documentary is coming out March 27th.
So
But
the album will probably come out either before or around the same time.
yeah, I was going to say, oh, here it is. March 29th, midnight
Okay,
Eastern. So
gotcha.
get that in your Apple Music or Spotify or whatever you're using.
Hmm.
All right. My next bit of news is we also talked about, I feel like we're just following up from last week. Lucas, who we were talking about, former
Hmm.
NCT and Wavy member, is
Yes.
dropping or has been dropping a documentary on his YouTube channel. It's Lucas underscore SM Town. Um, and just kind of discussing everything that's happened since his scandal, right? Since he was
Hmm.
canceled, we'll say. And kind of the steps he took to work through it. I think it was like he was saying 6 months he didn't leave his house. He was like real sad
Jesus.
about it. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. And
Yeah.
it's interesting some of the discussions I've seen around it as well. Um
Yeah.
Lucas is Chinese, right? So he was speaking Chinese in the
Hmm.
documentary. Um they were saying that some of the translations that were done kind of made the situation seem like he was admitting fault in all of it and not just like the handling of it. Because if you
Jesus.
take a more like literal translation,
Yeah.
he there was like a one of the crazy fans, right? That was like putting his information out there and like trying to get him like canceled essentially. And
Yeah.
he was saying, right, that he didn't handle the situation as well. He ended up lashing out, right, instead of just trying to handle it through the appropriate measures.
Yeah.
Which not the best, right? Of course. But also I understand because going through like the legal avenues, it takes forever. And so you have these people harassing you for sometimes years until something's finally done. So like maybe there's something there that could be worked on so they don't have to go through all
Yeah.
that, but I don't know. What do I know?
Well, it sounds
Um
like the label didn't help him at all in this situation, so
yeah, that's kind of the feeling in general.
he's kind of
Um
left on his own.
and they're saying, well, clearly the label's supporting him now, right? Because they're pushing, you know, whatever this
Well,
documentary is leading
they're in
to, but
trouble now.
right. They're pushing whatever the documentary is leading to, but yeah, in the moment it did see and if he was self-isolating for 6 months, it does seem like they kind of just left him high and dry to deal with
Mhm.
it, which is unfortunate. Um but yeah.
Mhm.
So, if you want to check that out, it's the only two things on his channel
I
at this
do.
point. So, there's two parts. It's about
Yeah.
40 minutes total. So,
It's it's unfortunate. Seems like if a rumor is spread in the K-pop, not community, the industry,
mhm.
it's guilty until proven innocent, and then even then, you're still kind of guilty.
Right. It even if
Yeah.
you're, you know, not if the charges aren't founded or whatever, right? Or
Yeah.
the allegations aren't founded, you still have to essentially dig yourself out of whatever it was.
And they still like associate you with that,
Of course.
which is
Yep.
so stupid.
Yep. So yeah,
Like
I do
Robert
think
Downey Jr. could not be a K-pop artist
no,
apparently,
absolutely
but
not.
he
For
absolutely
several
redeemed
reasons.
himself uh, in our
Yeah,
country and industry um, in a way that they can't. Like they can never kind of get away from that.
right. Right.
And I think they
And
need to really look into that because that's why so many K-pop artists end up having horrible uh, mental health
yeah,
issues.
and I mean it goes beyond like the idol industry. It's just actors, you know, anyone
Yeah,
in the public eye in general. Um
yeah,
it's the same story unfortunately. If there is a scandal,
yeah.
if it isn't true, if it is true, that's it, and
Disappointing.
there's, you know, a lot of issues, we'll say, to be conscious of YouTube that
Yeah.
stem from that, and you know, it's sad. It's just sad. But yeah, interested to see what all comes of this. I People were saying it was kind of shady how they translated it. Um
Yeah.
but
I don't
that's tough.
understand trying to mistranslate things in this day and age.
Right.
In the day and age where we have such an instant access to people from other countries
Right.
who are bilingual,
Mhm.
who will tell you straight up, like, situations in other countries and our country, our news will try to make it seem like it's something else, and people will be like, that is not what they said at all.
Right.
But yeah, it's stupid for them to do that. And companies always end up playing themselves, and the truth always ends up coming out. So why
Yeah.
you playing yourself?
This was like definitely a situation where it was good that
Yeah,
enough of his fans are multilingual, right? And
yeah,
can translate more accurately to get his sentiments across. So, I mean, in that
yeah,
front, good, great. Happy to see you know, there's still a
yeah.
big enough community rallying behind him that the discussion was even brought to the forefront, right?
Um, on the note that we were talking about, with the rumors and being proven guilty until
Yes.
innocent, and even then you can't get away from it.
Yes.
I do think it's a great thing that there are more international fans today than ever
Mhm.
because people who don't live in that kind of society
Sure.
are more forgiving and like at least they can see that
Yes.
instead of just a sea of disapproval for no reason.
Right. Um
But
that's
yeah,
interesting that you mentioned that because I was watching Kooky Lit. I think, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that's their channel name before I misquote somebody. But they did a video recently where they were discussing, quote unquote canceled idols,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, kooky lit. Um canceled idols and like how they do tend to have more success internationally. I mean, even going like just to Japan and they can still do fan signs and all of that
Yeah.
without much of an issue. So, yeah, it
Yeah.
is interesting. I get it because I guess they're like almost holding them to a higher standard perhaps
Yeah.
because they
It's a
are.
ridiculous standard. We need
I
to remember
agree.
these are
I agree.
people.
They're people and they're going to make mistakes and like some actions are absolutely more quote unquote cancelable than others, like the Burning
Yeah.
Sun stuff. That absolutely I there should be
Horrible.
no fandom left over, for any of the ones involved. Um
Yeah.
but even then there were people involved with that can just go to a different country and still have fans. I'm like, bro, that was bad though.
Yeah, that was not redeemable.
Yeah. But yeah, what what Lucas did was nowhere near that. So
No, he
we
didn't
can
even do
we can let
anything.
him
He was
be.
just
Yeah, it was
accused.
like a sasang or whatever, however it's pronounced. Going on posting all that shit. I think there was some like relationship issues that
Mm.
started it. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been watching anything on it,
And
but
well,
it's mostly it was none of our business, but then it absolutely got dragged into
none
our
of my
business.
business, none of my business what you do.
Exactly. But yeah, so that we'll keep looking out for Lucas's release because I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm still excited.
here's hoping for his redemption.
Yes, we love that. There's still enough fans, I would say, left that he should
Yeah.
have a successful comeback or solo debut, I guess. So yeah, exciting. My last little bit of news before we go to new releases. Leah from ITZY.
It's
She was
sad.
at the ITZY concert that happened recently. Um, and they had like a little reunion backstage. So I just wanted to bring it up. It was nice to see her. I hope
Love
she
her.
can join back up with the girlies soon. But mostly, I
Yeah.
just want her to be okay. So as long as she's okay, I'm good.
Yeah. She was having, for those who don't know, a lot of anxiety issues and had to kind of remove herself from the situation, which I'm glad she was in a position where she could. I'm glad JYP allowed her to
Yes.
without like pressuring her like some other companies might.
Yes.
Um, and she is taking care of her mental health. And yeah,
As she should. We love to see it. Um,
hmm
we want happy, healthy Leah. So anyway, I just
I
wanted to
love
throw
Leah.
that in because it was just nice to see.
She
Um,
doesn't get enough love.
we love
She's
all the girlies.
a fantastic vocalist. They're all
They're all so good.
incredibly talented. I love Itzy.
Um, so I guess I will move along to the new releases.
All right.
I talked about it last week. ATs. They release all the
Please.
bangers. They released a new EP called Not Okay. The title track I have listened to. Very good. Um, so check that out. I like the video. Was it bouncy? No. But that's okay.
No,
It was still
nothing
good.
will ever be bouncy.
I know it was so good. Bouncy's the best. Anyway,
If you
not
want
okay.
to
Very
know
good.
how, I can show you right now. Okay, sorry.
You're so good. Um, next,
Hmm
Taeyong released a new mini album, his second mini album called Tap.
Yes.
Once again, title track. Mwah, delightful, love it. Check out his first mini album too, if you want to. I really
Yeah.
liked it. Um, what was the main like single off of that one? Da, 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 da. It was so good. Hold on. Taeyong. I love how I'm prepared to talk about the track I like from that one, but then I have to derail myself by talking about the last one.
Yeah.
Oh, shalala. That's right.
Oh, inshallah.
So good. Anyway, Taeyong. Love Taeyong. One of the NCT members. Love NCT. Of course, I'm going to bring it up.
One of the
Um,
thousands of NCT
yes.
members.
I think there are like 20, 30 members.
Yeah.
And NCT
There's a
Wish
lot.
uh did have a single that came out. I believe that's the newest NCT group. I can't remember if that's the last NCT group that they're debuting.
I
Um
hope so. They need to stop.
yeah.
That's a lot of NCTs.
It was I enjoyed the song.
I
It
My
was
favorite NCT group is Dream.
you like NCT Dream? I'm a
I
127
love it.
girly.
Hot sauce, dip it, dip. Eh.
That's not real.
They
Hold
also
on. I'm a
didn't they
wavy
do
girly. Hold on.
didn't they do glitch mode?
Yes, I believe so.
I think that was
Hold on.
Dream too.
I think you're right.
Hot sauce, dip it, dip. Eh. It had like the best packaging for that.
It was very good. Ooh, I think at some point we have to talk about our favorite
Album covers
album
or
like
album
packaging in
packaging?
general. Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I know two
NCT
right
Dream.
off the bat.
I do as well. And I have some ooh, I bet the two I'm thinking of right now are not the ones that you're thinking of. So we should collaborate on this list because there's some
Okay.
good options. Anyway,
Put it on that docket.
yes. Ba 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 ba. The next like EP mini album
Hmm.
deal is Chaun Woo. I should have actually included this last week. He released it a week or two ago. The mini album is Entity, and there's been two songs that they've played, done for singles. I prefer
Yeah,
Stay, so I would recommend you check that one out.
that was
We
a good
got
one. Yeah,
a few singles that came out this week as well.
yeah.
Gravity, Love or Die. That was fun. That was a fun song. Bang Chan of Stray Kids released
Hmm.
a solo song, Eternity. It was very good. I think that just dropped today,
We
Friday.
stand, we
We
stand,
stand.
Stray Kids.
We stand. We love.
Stray Kids everywhere, all around the world.
Love Bang Chan.
Love Benchan. We have the plushie,
We do. We do. We
and
have two.
if we have
One is like a
Felix's
little cutie
Felixu.
guy. Felix, Felix. I can't help myself. Every time I'm like the cabbage thing.
Yeah.
I can't help it. Every time. Every time I hear his name, it just
My
fits.
favorite thing. Every time I think of him, I think of that one guy reacting to him singing. He's like, boy went through a different kind of puberty.
Yeah. Also, both of them, right? 19.
19. They're both Aussies.
Yes, they're both Aussies. Anyway, yeah, so that's the new releases I tracked down for the week. I'm sure there's more. I
Yes.
try to stay subscribed to all the entertainment channels so
Yeah.
I can keep up on them, but there's definitely some I'm sure slipped through the cracks. So, if you know of any, please drop them in the comments down below.
Yes. And let us know if you listen to any of these and what you think.
Yes. But yeah, that's all I got for this week. Um
Hmm.
I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. I hope y'all
Yes.
have a good
I
weekend.
know I did.
I know this will be dropping on Thursday, so we'll be right back into the weekend.
Right back
So,
into the weekend.
all right. Um anything else you'd like to say to our lovely listeners?
If you guys have any questions for us or anything you'd like us to
Ooh.
cover, please let us know in the comments below.
It'd be fun.
And hmm, what's up?
listen, this can be like a ongoing thing. We can keep track of this. But if you
Yeah.
have any questions for us, you can ask them in the comments
Yes.
below, and then maybe we'll do like a little Q&A, maybe special
Yeah.
episode, maybe full episode, depends how many questions, but I think that could be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Don't be shy. Ask away.
Yes. We can be
We
like
love
Ask
talking
FM.
to you guys. We're both chatty people,
True.
so
True. I try to be.
ask away.
But yeah. Um yeah, I hope everybody has a good weekend, has a good week until we meet
Hmm.
again.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um thank y'all so much for watching. Thank y'all who have come back. Thank y'all for if you're new and listening to us for the first time. We appreciate it.
Yes. Yes.
All right. We'll see you next
Alrighty,
time.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Love you. Love you,
Love you.
besties.
Love you.